Okay, so we started yesterday discussing the idea that the three babas, which are the three parts of Maseches Nezikin, correspond to the three Bati Mikdashos. The third base of Mikdash is going to be built, hopefully b'schus this Maseches Baba Basra and many other things. The question is, why is it that Maseches Nezikin is the prelude and the step to building the base of Mikdash? So it's very appropriate. Yesterday I mentioned, and I didn't explain much about the idea that this week is the Yurtzeit of the Balatanya, one of the main pillars of Chasidus. And what's the connection to that, the Maseches Nezikin? So the Gemara says in Maseches Nezikin the following: Man de bailim have chasid. The Gemara discusses who wants to be a chasid in Maseches Nezikin, and it says a few answers. One of them is lekai milid nezikin. Live up to the laws of Nezikin. We just this morning discussed a fascinating shaila. Halach l'maisa, someone had a pool in the house, a house and a pool. Someone buys a lot next to him and takes down all the trees. Lo and behold, now he's looking directly into this person's pool. So the guy who had the pool said, listen, you're being mazik me, you're harming me. Hezek re'iyah, which is the first daf in Maseches Baba Basra. Who's right? So, we're going to discuss that in the future. I'm going to let you think about this shaila. But what we see from Chazal is how powerful Chazal treated just the fact that someone is looking into someone else's courtyard. And how, if you look at Kabbalah, the damages that a person's eye, imagine if that's true about a negative eye, imagine what it means to have a positive eye. Chazal always say, Mida toiva meruba mimidas poranius. So, a good eye. How do we use a good eye? So I'll tell you the following. Someone asked Rabbi Daniel zichrono livracha. They asked him, how is it possible to love every Jew? So the first thing that Rabbi Daniel said, and his very powerful and straight answers, he said, first of all, you're not obligated to love every Jew. In fact, the Torah says, Chazal say re'acha means re'ah b'mitzvahs. Someone that keeps Torah and mitzvahs. That means, usually it's actually sometimes more difficult to love the guy, the frum guy, that's in your shul, that's sitting next to you, is more difficult to love than the person that's actually not connected to Judaism. Now, if someone is a tinek shenishba, he didn't grow up from, it's a different question. But the obligation certainly applies to someone that is from. And therefore, Rabbi Daniel Zichrono first said, he said, today it's a lot about wholesale. I love everyone. I'm a lover, I love everyone. He says, if you say you love everyone, you don't love anyone. This is what Rabbi Daniel Zichrono said. Now, what does that mean? He said, if you don't really internalize and work on loving someone, you probably never fulfill the mitzvah of Atarecha Kamoicha. Scary statement. So he suggested practical halacha l'maisa. He said, you want to love a Jew? Start with one person. Take the guy that's in your shul, or whatever it is, one person, and decide for this week, I'm going to really love this person. And you're going to focus on his positive traits, and you're going to really think about them. Like I said over many times from Rav Noach Weinberg, when he defined love, he said it's not just an emotional feeling that it comes and goes. The emotional pleasure that a person experiences when he focuses on someone's positive characteristics is love. That's the definition. And like the Rambam says, think about certain traits that this person has. And I would suggest you want to make this into a real program. And Rabbi Daniel said, you want to start loving people, start with one person. Spend a whole week really, really loving this person. You'll see you'll be a different person. And I would suggest, in 1 month, focus on 4 people. That's it. 1 month, 4 people. Love them, you will see. And through that, you'll become a real chasid. A chasid, it's beautiful to have the beautiful garments, but that's the externalities. And of course, it has an effect. But the ikar is like the Gemara says in Nezikin in Baba Kama, you want to become a chasid, lekai milid nezikin. You want to become a chasid, the Gemara says also become a chasid, means lifnim mishras adin by the Rabban Shem. Go out of your way. Forget about yourself a little bit and say, Rabban Shem, I'm your slave, I'm your servant. What do you want me to do? If it means that I have to give a little bit of myself to love someone else, that's part of being a chasid. And through that, we should be zeichet that the base of Mikdash should be rebuilt today. Alvai b'mheru b'yameinu.